It all started when I was 11. I saw Richard standing over there and I thought that he was so handsome. He was a friend of the family and eventually we would start dating. And then I got pregnant at 18. The only problem was Richard was white and I was black. But Richard didn't seem to mind that. He asked me to marry him.
I took her up to that courthouse up in D.C. and I married her. It was a modest ceremony with only her father present, but I still thought it was beautiful. Then I brought her home. I put our marriage license up on the walls and all was good. Until the police came and they stormed our room. They said, "Who's are you sleeping with, boy?" To which Mildred replied, "I am his wife." They said, "Nah, here he ain't," and they put us in jail. Then the courthouse of Caroline County found us guilty and they exiled us for the next 25 years. So we went to D.C. until Mildred had had enough.
We got that lawyer, Mr. Cohen, who helped us appeal our case to the state level. However, once again, the verdict was against us. In 1967, though, the Supreme Court took on our case.
The Lovings had an interesting case, since they obviously loved each other but couldn't legally be married. So in court, we argued that the Lovings were bound by old slavery laws that should have been abolished with the 14th Amendment.
They were brutal. Those opposing our love tried to argue that it was because of our children that interracial marriage should be illegal, as if they were bastards. So we didn't come to listen.
Eventually, the case closed in our favor.
The ruling was unanimous, 9-0. We in the Supreme Court felt that the Lovings deserved equal opportunity to happiness as every other couple does.
I'm just happy to be married to my loving husband and have our beautiful kids.
Well, we brought the case to the courts just because, well, Mildred had had enough time in D.C. But I think the case affects more than just us. But it helps everybody in America. Everybody deserves their chance of finding happiness. And everybody deserves a little bit of living.
Order, order. Here we have Denny Escobedo, who has been charged with murder of his brother-in-law, Manuel. Manuel was shot on the night of January 19th, 1960. Now, Escobedo, you were arrested the next day, in the morning at 2:30 a.m., without a warrant to be questioned. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Escobedo here was then released at 5 p.m. that afternoon after his lawyer, Mr. Warren Wolfson, obtained a writ of habeas corpus. On January 30th, Mr. Benedict DiGirlando, a man in police custody, told the police that Escobedo had shot and killed Manuel. Now, is this correct, Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, sir.
Then, Mr. Escobedo, along with his sister, was arrested later that day. He was then taken to the police headquarters and questioned without being allowed to speak to or even see Mr. Wolfson.
That is exactly what happened.
Now, Mr. Escobedo, I'm talking here.
Ah, yes. Sorry.
Anyway, during his questioning, Mr. Escobedo here was tricked into saying he knew that DiGirlando had killed Manuel, making him an accomplice. He was then found guilty of first-degree murder and was given a jail sentence for 20 years.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, I speak to the court and my fellow judges. You know that as the Supreme Court, we must uphold the Constitution. This young man's Sixth Amendment rights were violated. He was denied the right to consult his lawyer. Therefore, we reverse Escobedo's conviction and rule that criminal suspects have a right to counsel during police interrogations under the Sixth Amendment.
You guys hear that?